it says we're live on YouTube, so give it your best go. Trivia time. Let's do this. Pin that comment. So we will have Steinman joining us. We will have BMW joining us as well. But here we go with another trivia question, as Harrison Green and Mr. Accessories both have 5. Can you tell me what is the name of the exercise that we do? It's one of the 7, and it involves a basketball. Welcome, Dinger. Welcome, Nala. We're just going trivia today, but for 5 points, what is... And yes, Mason will be joining us as well. Figure 8 is correct. Mr. Vancouver is first to answer that one. Mr. Vancouver, and he gets 5 points as well. Dinger was the first on YouTube, and there's a 5-pointer for you. Yes, we've also got Mason joining us as well. So we've got 3 people joining us. BMW, just let me know when you are here. Hello, Speedy. And BMW, let me know if you're going to go live on Instagram or just type the questions. Next trivia question. What is the name of the ball player that attends our morning class? He lives in Missouri, and he won the Joe Buck contest. What's that kid's nickname? What is that kid's nickname? So we're not doing PE. We're just going to do trivia today, Dinger. So PE is on your own. Dinger and Billy D are my first 2 with Soto. And Soto was in 2nd place on his own name there. So Dinger gets another 5. That's 10. And on Instagram, it was Billy D. Remember, the winner of this trivia contest hosts with me next Thursday morning. Outstanding. Very good. Sorry again for all the Wi-Fi issues. Hey, it only took us 69 classes to do it. But Soto is the correct answer. And now it is 10-point round. And I'm going to bring in our winner from last week, which is Steinman. So come on in. And let's welcome Mr. Steinman with a round of applause. He made his own flyer for this.
Hey, Coach.
And how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How are you?
You look a lot like Harrison Green. You guys,
Yeah.
Same team, same everything. So let's welcome in Zach Steinman with an attaboy 1, 2, 3. Attaboy. Judge Jr.'s ready to go. Let me just give you the scores. Dinger with 10. Billy D with 5. Mr. Vancouver, Accessories, and Harrison Green all with 5. It is now 10-point questions. Speedy and Dinger gave you an attaboy over here on YouTube as well. So fire when ready with your first 10-point question.
Okay, a 10-point question. Not too hard, not the easiest. What is Pete Alonso's nickname?
Nice. What is Pete Alonso's nickname?
I need to cross these off as I do them.
Good call. I think Judge Jr. had a little typo there.
Yeah.
You got Mr.
I have Alessio Casano.
Yep, and his nickname's Mr. Vancouver, and right underneath was Pickle and Penguin. That's E-Roth there. Let me just give you a sense of where you came in. And Dinger over here on YouTube was the first, so that's a 10-pointer for Dinger. He now takes the lead. Go ahead and fire with your next question. The winner from last week's trivia, Mr. Zach Steinman.
Let's go with another type of nickname. Who was known as Mr. Cub?
And this is trivia, by the way, folks. We're doing little trivia questions, and if you win, you get to co-host with me, Coach Ballgame, next week.
Who was known as Mr. Cub?
Who was known as Mr. Cub? All right, BMW's here. BMW, whenever you're ready to type a question on YouTube, just type the question, and then I'll deliver it.
Judge Jr., I think. Jay Creed.
Judge Jr. with Ernie Banks. Who was Mr. Cub? It's Ernie Banks. And that's Judge Jr. with a 10-pointer. Very nice.
And then Harrison just under him.
I want to tell you, how you went in the. It went Judge Jr., then third fastest, then Mr. Vancouver, then ZV Slugger, then Harrison Green, Billy D. Welcome into the game.
I don't see all of them. I see a couple of them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Wolfie has entered. Welcome, Wolfie. Very good. So, BMW, if you can go live on Instagram, then we'll go live on Instagram after Zach.
I think we can only go live on Instagram with one person.
Yeah, so we'll have to, whenever we get done with you, we'll go to BMW. But if you don't have Instagram, BMW, then just type your questions in the YouTube comments, and I'll deliver it like Firestone. I've got a quick question. What player was the first Rookie of the Year? Who was the first ever Rookie of the Year? And I'll give you a hint. It was not Samuel L. Jackson. There's your hint.
I just looked it up, but I didn't think it would be him.
It was also not Spider-Man or Captain America.
Judge Jr.
Yes, indeed. Judge Jr. is correct.
I wouldn't think it would be Jackie Robinson.
Speedy got it on my end on YouTube. So Speedy gets 10 points. And Judge Jr. gets another 10. Jackie Robinson was the first Rookie of the Year in the year 1947. Back to you, Zach. And I tell you what, let's go 25-point question right here, okay?
Okay. How many RBIs did Nolan Arenado have in 2015?
How many RBIs did Nolan Arenado have in 2015? My educated guess would be 100. Dinger says 65.
No.
I think it's more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Did he win the National League record?
I can't remember. I know.
We.
I have Judge Jr. 130.
It's kind of interesting how Pickle and Penguin, you guys are right underneath Judge Jr. every time. Really close. Harrison Green went with 128. Oh, BMW is here. So BMW, whenever we finish with Zach, we'll bring you in live, and you'll be able to ask your questions. Very nice job, everybody. Let's just go with I'll go with a quick question, and then back to you as Judge Jr. now takes the lead. 25-point question. Who coined the phrase seventh inning stretch? Who coined the phrase seventh inning stretch? It's a person's name. Thinking of a person's name. Ooh, Judge Jr. wants to win this one. I love it. Dinger said Mr. Watermelon. That's from yesterday's. Very nice. So, okay, I've got my winners. Let me bring Zach back in. And it's President Taft. So I got to give it to Judge Jr. and then ZV Slugger. Judge Jr. gets 25. ZV Slugger gets 25. And then Firestone over on YouTube with William H. Taft. Back to you. And let's go 50-point question, Zach.
When Jose Batista hit his famous bat flip, what was the count?
Oh, when Jose Batista did his famous bat flip in Toronto, what was the count? Oh, that's a good
I was watching that game. I was going crazy.
Were you at that game?
No, if I was, I'd be ballistic. I'm not sure if Harrison was, but I can't remember.
Mr. Vancouver says it was 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It was not.
Dinger also guessed 2 and 2.
It was not 2-2, and it was not a full count.
Oh, a lot of 2 and 2s and 3s and 2s. So what was the count? What was the pitching count? We've got a 2 and 1 from Firestone.
No.
We got a 1 and 2 from Firestone.
No.
Real Joe also with that.
Unless Mr. Vancouver, it was a 1-1 count.
So 1 ball, 1 strike count, and
because the famous saying, the 1-1 from Dyson.
That's right, the 1-1 from Dyson, and boom. So on my end, Firestone just went with everything there is. He guessed every single count and got it. 1 ball, 1 strike. So he now has 75. Who earned the 50 points on your end?
I believe it was Mr. Vancouver.
And
ZV Slugger just under him.
And for me, yeah, I've got ZV Slugger as my first, so I'll give them both 50.
Yeah, I saw Mr. Vancouver pop up.
Fantastic. And that means ZV Slugger now takes the lead, tied with Firestone. Judge Jr., 5 points behind. Mr. Vancouver, 10 points behind. My 50-point question is, what baseball movie had the character Billy Bean for 50 points?
I watched that movie. It was such a good movie.
Definitely one of Brad Pitt's best roles.
Oh, yeah. Very good movie.
What movie had the character Billy Bean?
The Yet on Base. I got it. It was Real Joseph Bean.
Moneyball is correct, and Real Joe is correct. Real Joe with the 50. And back to you, 50-point question. The answer is Moneyball.
I was born in 2006. Who won the World Series in 2006, and who was the MVP?
So we need them both.
World Series MVP. It's not the Yankees.
2006.
Got a lot of Jeters coming in. It wasn't the Yankees.
Yeah, the Yankees took a little bit of a timeout. That's a good question.
I have the team name. Need the MVP too.
Still don't have everything in. I've got a Cardinals and a David Eckstein over here.
Yeah.
$2006. Was it the Cardinals and Eckstein? I thought so. So.
I mean, Harrison wrote David and the Cardinals.
So you need to have both. In your answer, you had to have both. Right? So I will give partial credit to my first David Eckstein, which is Judge Jr. So Judge Jr., that gives you 25 points there. Firestone got both with Cardinals and David Eckstein. So that's a 50-pointer for Firestone. And then my first Cardinals was also Judge Jr. So he got them both first on that end. So that's another 25. So Judge Jr. gets 50 on Instagram. Same for you?
First Cardinals?
My first St. Louis and my first David Eckstein were both Preedy.
My first St. Louis was Preed, and my first
David
Eckstein was, I think I had Billy D.
There you go. Billy D with 25 points. And that puts you to 30. All right. We're going to give you 2 more, Zach. And then we're going to bring in our second place finisher, BMW. So go ahead and deliver your 2 questions. What's your first one? And this is worth 100 points, folks.
Need to bring this one in. Which slugger set an AL record for 37 home runs before the All-Star break?
Repeat that question for me.
Which slugger set an AL record for 37 home runs before the All-Star break?
Who set the record with 37 home runs before the All-Star break? American League slugger. This is Thursday trivia. We usually have a PE class, but we had some Wi-Fi issues today, so it's all about the trivia today.
Judge Jr. again.
Nicely done, Judge Jr. Is it Chris Davis?
No.
Is it Mike Trout, Nolan Arenado, Manny Machado?
None of them.
Who is it?
It is Reggie Jackson.
Reggie Jackson was the answer, and Judge Jr. gets it right. That's a 50-pointer, and now Judge Jr. in the lead with 170. Welcome, Anya in Ireland. Welcome, everybody who's playing our trivia game. Reggie Jackson is the answer. This is our last question, and that was worth 100 points. And this one will also be worth 100 points. Last question from Zach. Bring it.
When Joe Carter hit his 1993 walk-off home run, there were 2 men on base. Who were the 2 men on base?
Ooh, just repeat that question if you could.
When Joe Carter hit his 1993 famous walk-off home run, there were 2 men on base. Who were the 2 men who were on base?
You heard it here. That's right, Dinger. Oh, man. Dinger is throwing out lines from yesterday's half squirrel, half man, allergic to the word bunk.
My first Henderson and Molitor was my dad.
Nice.
Mike Steinman. And my first Ricky Henderson, Paul Molitor was Judge Jr.
Well done. So Judge Jr. gets 100 and Zach's dad gets 100 as well. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, was Ricky Henderson and Paul Molitor. And let's give our main man, Zach, a round of applause. We're going to have to do this again, Zach. But now you get to jump in and try to answer BMW's questions and mine. And who knows, you might win again.
You can still win.
Exactly. So let's give Steinman an attaboy. 1, 2, 3. Attaboy. And BMW, I'm going to bring you in.
Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome. Let me try to bring in BMW. So BMW, it says you're unable to join. Do I have Mason in here? You might have to change your settings, BMW, to be able to go live, because I can't get you up live. If you can't change your settings, then just type some questions on the YouTube. But is Mason in the house? As Zach Steinman got a lot of attaboys. We'll wait and see if we can get BMW or Mason in the house as we ask our next 100-point question. Absolutely. You got it, Mike. Zach's dad there. Let me know, who won 4 batting titles in the 1960s? Only guy to win 4 batting titles in the 1960s. Couple guys won 3. Couple guys won 2. Who's the only guy to win 4 batting titles in the 1960s? Pete Rose is a good guess. Tony Gwynn wasn't around. Mickey Mantle's big years came in the 50s. Tony Gwynn got going in the 80s. But 1960s was Roberto Clemente, and Judge Jr. gets another 100 points. Well done. Correct answer was Roberto Clemente. Now, I want to go 100-point question. This is based on the story we told yesterday, as we're waiting to see if Mason or BMW can join live. And BMW, just type a question out if you can't seem to fix the settings on Instagram to go live. Yesterday in the story, I want to know who Mr. Watermelon's manager was. Who was Mr. Watermelon's manager? He was the pitcher. Who was his manager for 100 points? I've got Speedy, Firestone, and Judge Jr. with Babe Ruth. So Speedy gets 100, Firestone gets 100, and Judge Jr. another 100. Very nice for 520. Well done. Let me try BMW again. No, unable to join, and I don't see Mason in the house. So let's bring in Steinman. Let's go live with Zach again. Yeah, Babe Ruth. All right, mister. Hey, nobody else is answering the phone, so you get to ask some more questions. Let's go 200 pointers now. 200 pointers. So BMW, do this. Just try to figure it out this week, and then we'll bring you in next week. All right? You've got to change your settings somehow, because when I try to bring you in, it says unable to join. So
Maybe it's just Wi-Fi.
Could be a Wi-Fi issue. But obviously, I'm not very smart with that because we had issues this morning. But hey, let me have a 200-point question there, Mr. Steinman.
Okay. What was Pedro Martinez's ERA in 2000?
What was Pedro Martinez's ERA in the year 2000? Scott the Irish Rock has entered the building. That's another Irishman. We've got Anya in Ireland, and now Mr. Rock, Chris Rock from Ireland. Brian Stronghold said less than his weight. That's a pretty good guess.
It is.
That's kind of like
Junior again.
Ooh, Judge Jr. with 1.74, Firestone over here. So Firestone gets 200, that's 425. Judge Jr. gets 200, that's 720. And I'm going to say that was less than his weight. I'm going to say he weighed 175 pounds. That question is so awesome. I'm going to have you ask another one. 200-point question, Mr. Zach.
The baseball movie Field of Dreams was supposed to hold an MLB game this year on August 13th. Who was supposed to play in the game?
I was supposed to be there.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I was going to run a baseball camp in the town of Dyersville. So
I watched the movie recently. It's such a good movie.
Oh, such a great film. So I've got half credit. Okay. I see Mr. Vancouver gets a half credit. He gets 100.
Yeah, so did my friend Josh.
And then
Chicago and New York.
Jazzy.
White Sox and Yankees.
So Jazzy Josh gets the full 200 points. Dinger gets the full 200 on YouTube with the White Sox and Yankees. So Dinger, that gets you up to 220. Let's go.
It's a fun game to watch.
Oh, absolutely. It's going to happen. No doubt about it. And it might have to be 2021, but there will be Field of Dreams happening.
It's possible.
In yesterday's story, what person jumped out of the stands with a lizard on their back? It's a great film, Chris Rock. Yes, it is. So you had to be here yesterday for Wacky Wednesday to know this. But on Wacky Wednesday, we're going to start telling crazy stories. And somebody jumped out of the bleachers into center field, and they had a lizard on their back. And it was not Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I love how I love how Dinger tried to spell Arnold Schwarzenegger the best he could. I've got my correct answer on YouTube and over here on Instagram. It's Abraham Lincoln, and we're going to give it to Mr. Vancouver and Firestone for 200 points.
Billy D had Lincoln. My first Abraham Lincoln was Mr. Vancouver.
So Billy D.
Harrison said Bartolo Colon.
I love that. Billy D, you get 200. Mr. Vancouver gets 200. And Firestone with another 200. So Judge Jr. still in the lead. And there's BMW. BMW has his first question. He's typed it out on YouTube. How many Major League Baseball teams are there?
Oh, am I allowed to go in this right now?
No.
Easy question right here.
You have to just be the host today.
An easy question right there.
How many Major League Baseball teams are there?
On Instagram, I got Josh.
And on YouTube, I've got Dinger. Nice, good question, BMW. Go ahead and fire off your next one in the comment section if you're ready. But Jazzy Josh gets 200, and Dan.
Okay. Here's the World Series question. Hey, Coach.
Yes, that is Dad. That is Dad Steinman. Attaboy.
Thanks for having them on.
Of course, pleasure. It's so good to see some real solid baseball fans up in Canada, man.
Oh yeah, he loves it. I was at that game with Carter overnight. He snuck in through the hotels.
How great is that? Zach Steinman's dad snuck in to the Joe Carter game. How do you sneak in to a Toronto Blue Jays game?
So at the time, there was ways to access the Rogers Center, or the Skydome, I should say, through the hotel. So my buddy had tickets from game 3, I think, and we held them up in the door. Someone thought we got locked out, so they let us in.
Outstanding. I mean, what a game to sneak into.
Well, so then we walked around for a bit, and then in the 6th or 7th inning, the Jays were losing, so we saw people leaving. So we asked them for their ticket stubs, which they gave to us. So we went to their seats, third baseline, between third base and the outfield, like on the 100 level. So we sat there for the rest of the game and watched the home run.
I mean, that is unbelievable. And you know, there's an email I'm sending out today to all the families that I've coached about like 5 different things you can do around the house to stay engaged with baseball. And that's one of them. Just tell stories I mean, that has to be one of your favorite baseball memories, right?
Oh, it was the best, no question.
Incredible.
I still have the ticket stubs from it too. So these are ticket stubs from the '91 LCS. Yeah, those are older ones.
This is so great.
These are for 1991. These ones here.
Oh man, still got the ticket stubs. I love it. I love it.
That's great stuff.
So good. Well, thanks again for sharing Zach with us. He's doing a great job, and we're getting down to it. Few more questions. Judge Jr., you're still in the lead. Are you still here, Judge? In second place, it's Firestone, And in third place, it's Dinger right now. And the top two will host next week. And BMW, if you have another question, just type it in the section. But Zach, go ahead and ask your 300-point question. 300 points right here, Dinger. Let's go.
Which player scored the most runs in the 2010s, and how many runs did he have?
So from the years 2010 to 2020, who scored the most runs?
Yeah.
Who scored the most runs?
And how many? Another good memory is I was in Florida for a trip, and my parents brought me and my brother to a Houston Astros spring training game against the Jays.
It's good stuff. That is good.
The Jays lost, but as we're walking out, Jose Bautista sitting there, and he signed their jersey.
Of course he did. My goodness.
I have my first answer, but I don't have the amount of runs he had.
So I'm going to go ahead and give 300 points just for the name. Who's the name?
Yeah. Okay, it was Mr. Vancouver. It was Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. And over here I've got Dinger. So that's 300 points for Dinger. I've got 300 points for Mr. Vancouver. And now...
I'll be able to join PE tomorrow because there's religious reasons, but...
Hey, you'll be missed. Hopefully the Wi-Fi works and we'll be able to have a good workout.
Yeah. Then on Monday I'll be here.
Good deal. The answer is Mike Trout. Have you gotten any numbers on that?
I've had numbers, but they're nowhere close to the amount he had.
How many runs has Mike Trout scored in the 2010s?
Quite a bit.
Firestone says 903. Is that right?
On the dot.
So Firestone, you are now in the lead with 925. And this is going to be our last question. At the moment, it's Firestone in first, Judge Jr. and Dinger tied for second, and Mr. Vancouver
Save some questions for next time.
right there. So you've got lots of questions. Yeah, we're at the hour limit. So first I want to say thank you, BMW, for your questions. And Mr. Steinman, go ahead and give your last question, and this is worth 500 points. And here we go.
In 2018, only 2 players stole home plate. Who are the 2 players?
Who are the only 2 guys in 2018 who stole home? We'll give half credit for one of the names.
Okay. It was not Jose Reyes.
It was not Jose Reyes. There's only 2 guys that stole home in the year 2018. Who you got?
A hint is, at the time, they both played for the Blue Jays. I got one of them.
Dinger, if you answer this right, you're hosting next week.
I've got one of them already.
All right, don't say it yet. Not getting any answers on YouTube here. Hello. Except for Stronghold says 2 incredible men. I would agree.
It is 2 incredible men. And one still does play for the Blue Jays.
Firestone said people. Are they human beings?
They are indeed.
My mom thought it was really awesome that your dad hopped in and told that story. She just texted me. That's great.
Awesome.
There's so many of those stories out there.
Yeah. The worst was a couple years ago, I went to a Jays and Angels game, and I felt like really sick, so I went home, and Steve Pearce hit a walk-off grand slam.
You know what? That reminds me of the Dodgers-Cubs series I went to. I went to the first 2 games, dressed as Old Man Wrigley. The Cubs lost, and then Game 3 I didn't go to. Jake Arrieta threw a no-hitter.
Wow.
Been there. So Ari Firestone said Javi Baez.
I have both of them. So the first one I got was Judge Jr., Kevin Pillar.
Kevin Pillar.
Then the next one I got was It's Woofy 5, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. I didn't get full name, but Gurriel Jr. is what I can go with.
Very good. And so we have a Kevin Pillar over here, and it is Firestone. So Firestone gets it. But our winner is Judge Junior. You'll be.
Josh was my first Pilar, and then Jay Creed was my first Kevin Pilar.
Perfect. Jazzy Josh was your first Pilar?
My first Pilar was like last name, but then my first full name was Kevin Pilar was Judge Junior.
Very good. So here's our deal. Since Firestone's already hosted, my first place finisher is Judge Junior. You'll host next week. And Dinger, you will host next week. You finished third, but Firestone finished second, but he's already hosted. So Dinger, if you can line up your Instagram live, you can go live with us. But let's give Zach an attaboy and a scholar salute. That was really, really fun. I had no idea Kevin Pillar's still home.
Yeah.
But now I do. Firestone, great job. Firestone sportsmanship salute, by the way. He's got to be the guy that finds this out. If you win twice, then you sportsmanship salute. Give your position to the next place finisher. So, hey, hopefully the internet will work tomorrow. And don't forget about late night trivia tonight with Warstick.
I'm excited. Your coloring book's coming to my house soon.
Yeah, and get the coloring book, please. Go buy the coloring book. Go get the Coach Ballgame coloring book. And
CoachBallgame.com.
That's right, CoachBallgame.com. Firestone gave Dinger an attaboy and Judge Junior. So that was really fun. Hopefully,
Thank you for having me.
You bet. And we'll see you. We'll see everybody tonight with Warstick, 7:30 Pacific. If you're still awake for our Thursday night.
I will be on tonight.
That's all right. Good job, everybody. See you,
Okay,
Zach.
thanks, Coach.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, we'll just do our Zoom PE up here at 11 because I'm running her kindergarten Zoom today at 11. We're doing PE and stuff.
Can you do it inside?
We'll just do it right there because I'm not chancing. I don't know if there's something up, but yeah.
Class needs to come out and not charge us.
Exactly. So Aves, we got some schoolwork to do before Zoom.
She's done really well at her math.
Atta girl.